There are certain truths written in the stars, whispered across millennia, patterns of power, of grace, of destiny. And among them, one of the most bold, most dazzling, and most misunderstood is this: Leo is God's chosen one. That statement might feel immense, perhaps even arrogant, but it is not a declaration of superiority. It is a recognition of a unique cosmic signature. Today, we are not just going to list 21 traits of a Leo. We are going to decode the divine blueprint that makes them who they are. We are going on a journey to understand why this sign, more than any other, carries the weight and the glory of being the chosen. And I promise you, one of the revelations we will uncover later in this video will not just surprise you. It will fundamentally change the way you see the lions in your life. It is the key that unlocks everything. For as long as we have looked to the stars, we've searched for meaning, for patterns, for signs of the extraordinary. And in all my years of study, few signs carry the signature of the divine as powerfully, as undeniably as Leo. So what does it mean to be chosen? Most people see the surface of a Leo. They see the courage, the passion, the undeniable flair for leadership. They see the bright smile and the confident stride. And they are not wrong. That is all part of the celestial gift. But it's like admiring the beautiful, shimmering surface of the ocean without having any concept of the powerful, mysterious depths beneath. Everyone knows Leos are impressive. But why chosen? What is the divine secret that truly sets them apart from everyone else? The answer isn't just in their strength, but in the very fabric of their soul, in the mission they are cosmically assigned. Let's begin with their most fundamental, God-given right, their divine right to rule. This is point 21, and it is the foundation of everything. Just as the lion, their animal counterpart, reigns as the undisputed king of the animal kingdom, Leos are born with the innate spiritual authority to lead humans. This is not an ambition they develop. It is an energy they radiate. It's a pre-installed software in their soul. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a room, any room. It could be a boardroom where a project is falling apart, ideas flying like shrapnel with no direction. It could be a party where conversations are scattered and the energy is flat. It could be a family gathering frozen in awkward silence. Now, watch the door. A Leo walks in. Something shifts. It's not necessarily that they are the loudest or the most dressed up, though they often are. It's a change in the air itself, a subtle hum of potential. It's as if the sun itself has decided to step inside for a moment. The scattered energy in the room suddenly finds a gravitational center. People's postures change. Their attention, previously diffused, now has a focal point. Chaos finds a potential for order. Silence finds a potential for meaningful dialogue. This is not an exaggeration. It is an energetic reality. Leos don't just enter a space, they occupy it. Their charisma isn't a learned skill. It is a magnetic field, a divine gift given to them for the purpose of inspiring, organizing, and leading. They are the natural center of any human solar system, and others find themselves unconsciously starting to orbit. This brings us to point 20. This leadership is not passive. It's fueled by a divinely instilled, burning desire to excel. Leo's ambition isn't the grasping, insecure ambition of someone trying to prove themselves. It is the ambition of a king who knows his destiny is to build a great kingdom. They are relentlessly competitive, not out of spite for others, but because they are competing against their own immense potential. Second place, for a Leo, feels like an abdication of their cosmic duty. They are driven to dominate, to achieve, to be the very best, because in their soul, they believe that is what they were put here to do. Mediocrity is a spiritual offense to them. Let's bring this to life with that hypothetical workplace crisis. Imagine a team, demoralized, a major client is about to walk, deadlines have been missed, and the blame game has begun. The manager is panicking. People are updating their resumes under their desks. The project is dead in the water. Then, the Leo on the team, who might not even be in a formal leadership position, steps forward. They don't start by shouting orders. The first thing they do is absorb the panic. They stand in the center of the storm, and they are not moved. Their own inner certainty acts as a seawall against the waves of fear. They'll say something simple, but powerful. Okay, let's stop. Let's breathe. What is the single biggest problem we need to solve in the next hour? Notice the shift. They didn't ask, whose fault is this? They didn't entertain the drama. They posed a question that demanded focus and forward momentum. Suddenly, the scattered blame turns into a focused search for a solution. Then, the Leo will look at one person, someone who is good with numbers but is terrified of speaking up, and say, "Sarah, you see details no one else does. What's the data telling you? Forget everything else, just the numbers." They empower Sarah. They see her strength and they call it out, giving her the confidence to use it. They'll turn to another. "Mark, you're the most creative one here. Forget the old plan. If we were starting from scratch right now, what's your wildest idea?" In the span of 10 minutes, they haven't done any of the work themselves, but they have transformed a group of defeated individuals into a focused, energized team. They have reminded everyone of their own strengths. They have injected hope and possibility where there was only despair. That is the magic of Leo leadership. It's not about being the boss. It's about being the catalyst. It's the divine right to rule in action. This naturally leads us to point 9. They are born to be the center of attention. Now, in our modern culture, we often see this as a negative trait, labeling it as vanity or narcissism. But for a Leo, this is a misunderstanding of their core function. Their need to be at the center is not just about ego. It's about efficacy. A sun cannot do its job from the edge of the solar system. It must be at the center to give light and warmth and order to everything around it. A Leo's charisma, their flair, their love of the spotlight, it's all part of their toolkit to inspire and lead. When people are watching them, they can influence, uplift, and direct. Their presence is their power. So you see, this initial image of the divine king is not about arrogance. It's about a cosmic role they are born to play. They are given the charisma, the ambition, and the central presence to be a force for order and achievement in the world. And it is intoxicating. Their light is warm. Their confidence is contagious. Their power is undeniable. It's only natural to be drawn to them, to want to be closer to that fire. So, you're drawn to their power. But what's it really like to love a Leo? What is it like to be in a close, intimate relationship with a being who is cosmically wired to be the sun? This is where we move from the public persona to the private contract. This is where we discuss the price of the crown. Point 19 and point 17 are two sides of the same coin. Leos possess a towering, unshakable self-esteem. They genuinely believe in themselves, in their abilities, in their worth. This is part of their divine gift. It is the engine of their ambition and the source of their resilience. However, from the outside, this profound self-belief can often be mistaken for pure arrogance. The line is incredibly fine. They set impossibly high standards, not just for themselves, but for everyone in their inner circle, especially their partners. If you are to be the partner of a king or a queen, you cannot be a shrinking violet. You must have your own light, your own confidence, your own kingdom. They are not looking for a servant. They are looking for a fellow sovereign. But this is where the rules become absolutely critical. And this brings us to the most important law in the entire Leonine kingdom. It's a synthesis of points 14 and 13. And it is the foundation of any relationship with them, the unbreakable rule of loyalty. A Leo's love, when truly given, is for a lifetime. When they choose you, they choose all of you, forever. They will defend you with the ferocity of a lioness defending her cubs. They will champion your dreams as if they were their own. They will be your staunchest ally, your most passionate advocate, your unshakable rock in any storm. Their loyalty is not a passive feeling. It is an active, all-encompassing commitment. But, and this is the most important but you will ever hear about this sign. This lifetime of devotion is conditional on one thing, and one thing only: absolute, unblemished trust. If you betray a Leo, even once, it is over. And when I say over, I don't mean you will have a series of dramatic fights and then make up. I mean, they will distance themselves from you forever. A switch will be flipped inside their soul, and it can never be unflipped. The door to their heart, once closed, is locked, bolted, and barricaded. The warmth you once knew will be replaced by a chilling, indifferent distance. They won't hate you. Hate requires energy, and you are no longer worth their energy. You will simply cease to exist in any meaningful way to them. Trust, once broken, is not just difficult to repair. For a true Leo, it is a psychological impossibility. Why? Because a betrayal is not just an emotional wound to them. It is a metaphysical violation. It is an act of treason against their kingdom of two. It proves to them that you were never a true citizen of their world, but a foreign agent. And they do not negotiate with traitors. This is the part of the video where I want to turn to you. Because this is not just theory. This is lived experience for so many. Have you ever experienced a Leo's unwavering, ride-or-die loyalty? Or have you seen the flip side, that permanent, cold distance when their trust was broken? Share your story in the comments. Let's discuss this profound duality. This unbreakable rule of loyalty, this extreme reaction to betrayal. It's a symptom of something much deeper, a fundamental paradox at the very core of their being. And this brings us to the climax of our journey, the revelation I promised you. To understand it, we must first look at point 7, a Leo's unyielding strength. This is the image they project to the world. They are the immovable object and the unstoppable force. They confront every challenge head-on, They never back down. They never show weakness. They are warriors of light, divinely armored against the darkness of the world. They are built to withstand pressure that would crush other signs. This is the unbreakable shield. But what is that shield protecting? So, what is the secret behind this unbreakable facade? This is point 12, the darkness within. When a Leo is deeply hurt, overwhelmed, or feels they have failed, they don't crumble outwardly. They retreat. They retreat into a formidable, stubborn, and silent fortress. The drawbridge of their heart is pulled up. The warm, radiant Sun King becomes a cold, stone monarch on a lonely throne. They push people away, not always with anger, but with an impenetrable wall of silence and distance. This is what many call their dark side. It is a self-imposed exile. Now imagine the king, wounded, retreating to a single, stone-walled room in the deepest part of the castle, refusing all visitors. That is the Leo's dark side, a place of profound sensitivity and vulnerability, protected by a fortress of stubborn pride. And this reveals the great paradox. Their external, godlike strength is a defense mechanism for an incredibly sensitive and vulnerable core. They need validation. They need reassurance. They need to be told they are loved. They are the best. They are still the king. But their pride will almost never allow them to ask for it. This is where point 6 comes in. To truly win the heart of a Leo, you must have the confidence to get past this shield. You cannot be intimidated by their fortress. You have to be strong enough to walk up to the castle walls when they are in their dark side, and not be pushed away by their stubborn silence. You have to have the self-assurance to say, I know you're in there, and I'm not going anywhere. Your strength doesn't scare me, and your silence doesn't either. They need a partner who is their equal in strength, not a subject who is frightened by their power. But even this is not the ultimate secret. It is a piece of the puzzle, but not the final key. The ultimate revelation, the psychological truth that governs all of their behavior, from their leadership to their loyalty to their dark side, is this. A Leo must be the protagonist in every single scenario of their life, always. It is not a desire, it is a need. It is as fundamental to their being as breathing. Their entire reality is constructed around them being the central character in the story. Everyone else, no matter how loved, is a supporting character. And now, for the proof, the aha moment, the example that is so blunt, so provocative, that it leaves no room for doubt. The original text that inspired this deep dive puts it this way, and I will share it with you because its directness is what makes it so illuminating. It says, if you're ever involved with a Leo in any intimate setting, like for example, a trio, they will expect to be the star of the show. They must be the center of that experience, the main event. Let's pause and deconstruct this. This is not a comment on their sexuality or their lifestyle choices. Please understand that. This is a profound psychological metaphor. It could be a business negotiation, a family dinner, or a vacation plan. The context doesn't matter. What matters is the structure of the dynamic. Even in a scenario that, by its very definition, involves multiple people in a shared experience, The Leo's psychological framework does not allow for a true democracy of attention. There cannot be three equal stars. There is the protagonist, and there is the supporting cast. Their sense of self, their very identity, is inextricably linked to being the primary mover, the primary focus, the main character in the movie of their life. To be a supporting character in their own story is, for a Leo, a form of psychological death. This is their divine right, taken to its absolute, most personal conclusion. It is the secret that explains everything. Why they lead? Because the protagonist drives the story. Why they demand absolute loyalty? Because the protagonist cannot be betrayed by their own cast. Why they retreat into a dark fortress when hurt? Because the protagonist is undergoing a trial, a dark night of the soul arc, and must overcome it alone to emerge stronger. It is their divine right to be the main character, always. And I know, hearing that, it can sound impossibly selfish, inflexible, even narcissistic. But what you have to understand is where this cosmic need comes from. Because this very same force that demands the spotlight, this same ego that insists on being the protagonist, is also the force that creates the most generous, life-altering protector you will ever know. And this brings us to the emotional heart of our story, the goosh. The moment we understand the payoff for all this complexity. This is point 2. That massive ego isn't just for themselves. When a Leo takes you under their wing, when you are accepted into their kingdom, their strength becomes your shield. Their ego expands to include you. An insult to you is a direct assault on them, on their judgment, on their kingdom, and it will be met with the full force of their royal fury. As a leader, their generosity and care shine brightest. They don't hoard their power, they use it to uplift their people. A true Leo leader finds glory in the success of their team. They are the natural protectors, the ones who will stand in front of you when danger comes, who will use their own bodies to shield you from the storm. They use their divine strength not just to rule, but to defend. And this leads us to point 16, the beautiful flip side of their demand for loyalty. Once you are in their circle, once you have proven your allegiance, you have a friend for life. Period. They will be your biggest cheerleader, celebrating your victories more loudly than you do. They will be the one who believes in you when you don't believe in yourself. They will be the friend who calls you at 3 a.m. and says, "I'm on my way," with no questions asked. This is the warmth of their fire, the demanding, all-consuming star that needs to be at the center of the universe is also the sun that gives life, warmth, and safety to everything in its orbit. The price of admission to their world is high. It requires strength, confidence, and absolute loyalty. But the rewards are a lifetime of protection, generosity, and the fiercest love the Zodiac has to offer. This is the heart of the lion. So as we bring our journey to a close, let's step back and look at the whole, complex, dazzling picture. Leo is God's chosen one, not because they are perfect. Far from it. They are chosen because they embody a divine paradox. They are the radiant king, born to lead and inspire. They are the show-stopping presence, the center of every room. Point 1. They are the ruthless rival who will compete with everything they have because excellence is their nature. Point 3. They are the unconventional date who hates routine and craves excitement. Point 4. And they are the fiercely loyal protector whose love is a fortress for those lucky enough to earn it. Their divine gift is this unique, volatile, and magnificent blend of unshakable external strength and a passionate, demanding, and surprisingly vulnerable heart. To know a Leo is not just to know a person. It is to witness a force of nature. It is to stand in the presence of royalty. And to be loved by a Leo is to understand that the sun can choose to shine just for you. If this deep dive helped you understand the Leos in your life, or if you are a Leo and felt truly seen, the best way to support this channel is to hit that subscribe button for more psychological astrology. And a quick tip, you might want to save this video. Insights this direct have a way of getting lost, and you'll want to come back to it. Until next time.